hard to put an exact number on it because the gear is so dense. It does feel a little bit daunting when you come to places where there's like a lot of boats and piles of net, and just looking at it being like, okay, how are we gonna actually clean this up?
It's not only the province or Canada, the whole world is on the environmental cleanup. And we all know it starts with the oceans, rivers, lakes, glaciers.
As cliche as it sounds, it feels a little bit like stepping back in time. Like you drive down the main drag and there's the old cannery buildings and stuff that have been converted into hotels, and all the piled structures on one side of the street and then the terrestrial structures on the other, which you can really get a sense that this place has a history. We left Vancouver, we took a ferry over, we drove 6 hours up island to Port McNeill, where you hop on another ferry and cross over to Cormorant Island, or Yalis, where Alert Bay is located. This was a very vibrant fishing community back at the turn of the century. There was over 500 boats that were fishing here. The fleet would come in here and get supplies and stuff. Over those years, a lot of stuff was lost in the bay. The decline of the fishing industry left people without ways to maintain their boats and their equipment, in addition to losing the ability to properly dispose of boats and equipment, so we end up seeing it discarded into the bay. Like, it's obviously very hard to tell what's on the bottom until you're actually in the water. You can be looking out, it looks pristine, and then as soon as you dive, it's apparent that there's a pretty extensive lost fishing gear as well as marine debris problem here that is affecting the natural habitat.
Yeah, this is all net here.
Is that net on the bottom there too?
This is all net.
Is that gill net?
No.
Okay, so there's seine net in that area as well.
Yeah, it's all seine net. It's just all net.
Our kids or youth, they can't swim safely off this wharf right now, the way it is. And our food supply, it has an impact because guys used to be able to crab fish off these docks. They're not there like they used to be. Like when this thing was clean, you could go out and put a trap on low tide, and at supper time you'd have just 6 or 8 good crab for supper every day. Currently that's a challenge. You probably have to go 20 to 50 feet off this wharf to be able to put a trap in right now to get a crab. When the Western Brave goes out harvesting for clams or prawns or halibut, and we go and I come off the boat with a trailer full of the seafood, there's 200 people lined up. How do we use that to bring back that teaching of, the food that we just gathered is only going to happen if we keep our environment clean.
Yep.
Work. Yeah, it's kind of eerie down there. It's just a giant death trap.
Yeah. We'll start the lift this morning. Our pile, we're situated pretty much right over top of the first one here. And then, as we discussed, we'll tie a line into the net, come up on the hook with it. We chatted about the sheathing as well. It'll go over the block. It just needs to have weight to come back down. So start with that. You're gonna put a sack line for us at the back. So if we do have more net in the water, you can tie it off, drop the hook again, and re-tip it. out all the bags that come out. I have to document the any bycatch that's in the nets, the types of nets coming out, and estimated length. We'll get weight from it from the tipping fees. Will tell us how much all the gear weighs. But it's important to take all that data down, especially the evidence of anything caught in the nets. It's a good proof of why we're here.
Do you want just a little piece to start, a third of a bag? We're all good.
Yeah, 1/3 of a bag.
Roger.
The issue in BC is quite extensive. We have fishing gear from the northern coast of Alaska to the southern coast in Washington. There's gear throughout that whole area. The majority of it is legacy fishing gear. So the really interesting thing about that is it's a solvable problem. The project that we completed this time has been project 3 of ongoing number of projects to clean up this one particular bay. Whether or not that has an impact on the scale in BC or the scale globally, it is a very small amount, but for this community specifically, that little bit of habitat rehabilitation, a little bit of their food security and cleanliness and community where they're able to go swimming in their harbors safely or enjoy the beaches, that's all reasons for me to continue trying to do this sort of project. We were able to recover another 5 tons out of the harbor. So ongoing yet, we've still got more projects ahead of us, but if we continue on this trajectory, we'll continue to get more gear out in less time and hopefully get it to a point where we are able to come back and monitor the return of the environment opposed to coming back to clean it up.